This video is a demo of a walk-in software assets. We will have a look at the taking on of stock, the printing of barcode labels, the marking of the actual books or assets. We will then move on to issuing these assets to individuals, either using a manual option or the barcode function. With the barcode function, we will scan the student number, barcoded student number of the individual, either from a student card or from a class list. We will then move on to scanning the asset or book that we issued to the individual. We will conclude this video by looking at the asset stock reports as well as the SMS notification for outstanding stock. To work with assets, we will go to General, Assets, Manage. Let's take an example of Grade 11, Accounting. Let's look at A to Z of accounting, and we are going to take on stock. The take on reference is optional, but you could, for example, fill in the supplier name here, invoice 001, the take on date, the take on quantity. Let's do 10 for this example. Take on now. Are you sure you wish to take on 10 items with these details? Yes. The system generates a unique barcode for each of these items. Update and close. To print these labels, we will go to click Print Barcode Sheet, load items needing printing. This is the list of barcodes that we would like to print. Let's take it to the print preview. It will look like this. These barcodes can be printed out to labels, or you could print it out to plain A4 paper and use sellotape to stick them to the books. It is recommended to print 2 sheets, so one barcode could be stuck to the outside of a book and one in a hidden spot on the inside for extra security. We will now look at issuing of these assets to individuals. The scan action, we will set that to asset issue. And then we will issue an asset to an individual using the manual option. Any of these search fields can be used. Let's search for Fiona. When we select Fiona, we will see first of all the assets that is already on her name. We can add more assets to her. Let us scan an item here. Okay. If we do not have a barcode scanner, we could also add an item by entering the number manually. Let's take 8549, enter. Okay, the system is telling me that she already has a book Accounting for Dummies. At this point, we can either delete or just update and close. Then the process of issuing an asset to, using the barcode function would be similar. The scan action is set to asset issue. We will use this field to scan the person. Let's go to scan Nick. As you can see, there is nothing on Nick's name, so let's give him some assets. Okay, those are the books we are issuing to Nick. Update and close. We can use another example. Let's go to Janine and issue Janine with some books. Okay, update and close. These are this is the method that you will use to issue assets to persons. Once we have issued, we can go and have a look at the reports. Let's go to view Bernadine. This is the individual report. Assets issued to Bernadine are listed here. Should you want to print them, you can click on View in Browser and Print. Then we can go and look at reports here, Assets, Manage. Basically, let's take an example, grade 11, accounting. Let's go and look at accounting for dummies. What we can see is that we've taken on 10 items. If you change this scan action here to persons and items and select the item again, we can see that 7 of these items were issued to 5 persons. If you click the person list, you can see the people who received this asset. Okay, let's go and look at another stock report. We can go to My List, Printouts, Report, Asset Stock Report. Okay, then listed here are all the items on hand. If we go to the site, you will see how many we took on, how many were issued, and the balance. Let me sort this column. Let's look at this first book, Accounting for Dummies. What we can see is that we took on 10 of these books, issued 7, so we have 3 of them in stock. You can use any of these fields to get your report to Excel or to print. Done, finish, and close. We will now look at returning of assets. Let's go General, Assets, Items being returned. It is not necessary to scan the person. You can purely focus on scanning the assets. So let's scan that. This is a book, English First Additional Language, that was issued to Ferreira Fiona, and these are the books still on her name. So on the screen you can move between people. It is not necessary to scan one person at a time. So Candy returned maths, and she still has those items on her name. We will now move on to sending an SMS notification to persons with outstanding books. Let's go to General, Assets, Assets outstanding for a SMS. We will send to active people. By selecting or unselecting these fields, you can choose who to send the message to. Click here to send an SMS. We will use this field to create our message. If you right click, you can make use of any of these fields to personalize your message. Let me choose first name, right click surname. Please hand in your outstanding books. I'm going to right click and use this field, products outstanding. What this means is that this message will now read, Dear Hans Haasbroek, please hand in your outstanding books, and the names of the books will be listed. The next one, Dear Janine Ubag, Dear Fiona Ferreira, etc. Before the end of the month. To send a message, you would say get person, process, send message now, and it will notify you of how many messages were sent. Done, finished, and close. And with that, we are concluding our video on assets.